While President Donald Trump and Melania Trump were leaving the White House for a trip to New Hampshire, the First Lady was seen stumbling in her boots, and she gracefully recovered. However, as soon as liberals scoured the footage, they were left sick over what they saw only a few seconds later. As President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump made their way across the south lawn of the White House, preparing to depart for Manchester, New Hampshire, Melania stumbled in her boots. At first glance, the incident seemed uneventful, but a few liberals, who are apparently desperate to find any reason to hate President Donald Trump and his family, noticed something. Despite what the mainstream media wants you to believe, President Trump and the First Lady actually do care about one another. In fact, what they were recently seen doing is considered ordinary for many couples across America, but when liberals saw the Trumps doing something so commonplace and actually mundane, those suffering Trump derangement syndrome are sadly left sickened. The most recent incident that left the liberals cringing was caught on video, showing Melania as she walked in her tan boots with chunky heels. As she walked across the grass beside President Trump, she appeared to stumble as a result of the heels on her boots. Unfortunately, anti-Trump liberals used this as an opportunity to attempt to insult him yet again, but, as usual, they failed. After Melania stumbled, she grabbed onto her husband to catch her balance. For a brief moment, they exchanged what's often called a public display of affection, or PDA. Despite the blatant attempts by the mainstream media to paint the first couple's marriage in a negative light, they clearly care for each other, and this was very evident in the clip as they continued to walk in each other's arms. Sadly, several liberals couldn't believe what they saw and decided to ignorantly sound off on social media about how sickened or shocked that they were by the gesture. That was really not all that surprising to anyone with a bit of common sense, respect, and decency. One obvious Trump-hating social media user stated, "Wow. He actually caught her. That's a surprise," while another alleged she always shuns away his hand, before ignorantly adding, "She should have done the same this time." Shockingly, some people even suggested that it was done as a publicity stunt, with one user going so far as to say, "It's probably staged." If that's the case, Melania should have been an actress or stuntwoman rather than just a model, because that stumble was pretty convincing and would be difficult to fake. Yes, the Trumps are reserved in their public displays of affection. However, when you're in a respected position and possess even an ounce of class, you usually are. Would these complainers actually prefer if the first couple made out in public? Get over it. Some people just don't like PDAs, not because they don't love each other, but because they respect themselves and one another enough to know that physical affection is better done in private. Furthermore, those who spend most of their life in the spotlight know it's important to keep your personal life as private as possible. It seems the Trumps have taken this very seriously and wish to ensure the longevity and health of the marriage, despite the lies that the mainstream media has been spreading. It's sad how our mainstream media will only look for flaws with our current first family. They are still ordinary people, capable of the same mistakes we all face, like I stumble in our boots. We all know that accidents happen, but what matters most is knowing that you have someone beside you who will always catch you if you fall and love you until the end. Hopefully, this pair will prove that love can endure anything, including the harassment of the mainstream media. No couple deserves to go through what Donald and Melania Trump have faced in the last year alone. But the fact that they're still showing each other affection is proof that nothing anyone else says matters when it comes to the love that two people have for one another.